As a financial planner, one of the things I'm asked all the time is how do I know if I'm financially stable? And of course, it's going to depend on each person. Each person is going to have their own level of comfort. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 ways to know if you're financially stable. Make sure you stick around to number 10. Number 10 is the best. So, the first way you'll know if you're financially stable is, do you have a financial game plan? Do you operate from some type of system, something that you have that's detailed, that's defined, that's written, that helps you figure out where you are now, where you want to go, and have some strategy to help you get there? Having a detailed game plan is half the battle in helping you get from where you are to where you want to be. The second way to know if you're financially stable is, do you have more than one stream of income? When you rely on one stream of income, it puts you in financial jeopardy. If for some reason the company shuts down, or they're having layoffs, or they decide to let you go, then if that is your only stream of income, it puts your whole financial situation in jeopardy, not to mention your family as well. The best thing to do is to have multiple streams of income, even if they're small. Eventually, small streams tend to turn into larger streams over time. But having more than one stream of income is one of the best ways to know if you're financially stable. The third way you know if you're financially stable is, do you save and invest consistently every single month? Earning an income is just the first step. If you spend everything you earn, then it doesn't give you the ability to move forward. So you want to be able to earn income, but secondly, you want to be able to save and invest it so that it grows faster than the rate of inflation and the rise in cost of living. If you're saving at least 10 to 15% each and every month, that is a good sign that you're financially stable. The fourth way is, do you have a fully funded emergency fund? As we know in life, emergencies will happen, rainy days will happen. So the question becomes, do you have enough money set aside for those rainy days? On average, if you have roughly between 3 to 6 months saved, and we're talking about how much it costs you each month for the basic, keeping the lights on, keeping a roof over your head, and keeping yourself and your family fed. You want to have at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses set aside, just in case you lose your job, just in case you get sick, hurt, or unable to work for any reason and your income stops. Make sure that your finances don't take too big of a hit. An emergency fund is a great way to make that happen. Number five, is your retirement savings on track? You want to have some idea of what you need to live in retirement. So if you happen to be 10 years, 15, 20 years away, you want to take how much does it take you to live currently each year, and you want to multiply it by, say, 30, because people are living longer, well into their 80s, and some even to their 90s. If you're 25, you want to have about one times your salary saved. If you're between 35 and 45, three times your salary. If you're between 45 and 55, you want to have about 5%. If you're 55 to 60, about 7. And if you're 65 and older, you want to make sure you have about 8 times your salary saved. That way, if you live into your late 80s or early 90s, you should have enough money saved in order that you won't run out in retirement. All right, number 6, do you have life insurance? And yes, I know, even if you have enough retirement and emergency savings set aside, people don't recognize much of those savings will be taxed when it gets passed on. Life insurance is a tax free way for you to pay for your final expenses, but also it allows you to pass on money to your family and loved ones that's not taxed. In addition to that, it can help pay for debt, any debt you may have. It can help pay for any taxes that your estate or your heirs have to pay when they receive their inheritance. So, life insurance is a very powerful way and a very cost effective way for you to take care of final expenses and other expenses your loved ones may have after you're gone. Do you have a credit score that's more than 750? Anything over a 750 credit score means that you are in the top tier credit ranking. That's usually going to get you the best rate if you happen to borrow money for a house, car, or any other expenses that you have to borrow money for. As your credit score goes lower and lower, that means that the cost of borrowing money will get more expensive. So you want to make sure that your credit score is at least 750 or higher. Number 8, you wanna make sure that you have no high interest debt. We're talking usually credit card debt. Anything over 9 or 10% is considered high interest debt. You wanna make sure that you're paying those things off as quickly as you possibly can, if not each and every month. That's gonna help keep your monthly operating expenses down to a minimum. Number 9, do you have your paperwork ready? So it's really easy. A lot of times people think that, oh, I have time. But the truth of the matter is, we really never know. So you want to make sure that you have your paperwork ready. You want to have your will or trust in place. If you don't have a will or trust in place, it means that any assets that you have, before they can be passed on to your beneficiary or to your heirs, they have to go through probate. And that could be a lengthy, costly process. So you want to make sure that at a minimum, you have a will in place. A will still has to go through probate, but at least they're able to know exactly what your wishes are for your assets. Even better, if you have a trust in place, that can definitely help speed up the process and you don't have to go through probate. If you have any bank accounts, you want to make sure that you have your beneficiary name on your bank accounts. So at least if you pass away, your beneficiary is able to access those funds to help take care of final expenses. And then, of course, you want to make sure that if you have any life insurances in place, that the proper beneficiary is listed on each of your life insurance policies. And then finally, number 10, the best way to know if you're actually financially stable is, do you sleep well at night? If you're comfortable and sleep well at night, knowing that your financial matters are all set and taken care of, then that ultimately is the best way to know if you are financially stable. If you'd like to learn more about how to become financially stable, comment, subscribe, or feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help.